Hello dear students. In today's video, we will be solving questions from the lesson on life processes in living organisms part 2 from the class 10 science part 2 textbook. So let's start. 10 science part 2, chapter number 3 life processes in living organisms part 2, question and answers. Exercise. Question 1. Complete the following chart. Answer is given directly. Continued. 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 Question 2. Fill in the blanks. Sub-question 1. In humans, sperm production occurs in the organ testes. Sub-question 2. In humans, Y chromosome is responsible for maleness. Sub-question 3. In male and female reproductive system of human, no gland is same. Sub-question 4. Implantation of embryo occurs in uterus. Sub-question 5. Asexual type of reproduction occurs without fusion of gametes. Sub-question 6. Body breaks up into several fragments and each fragment starts to live as a new individual. This is fragmentation type of reproduction. Sub-question 7. Pollen grains are formed by meiosis division in locules of anthers. Question 3. Complete the paragraph with the help of words given. In the bracket, your options are the following: luteinizing hormone, endometrium of uterus, follicle stimulating hormone, estrogen, progesterone, corpus luteum. Answer. Growth of follicles present in the ovary occurs under the effect of follicle stimulating hormone. This follicle secretes estrogen. Endometrium of uterus grows/regenerates under the effect of estrogen. Under the effect of luteinizing hormone, fully grown up follicle bursts, ovulation occurs and corpus luteum is formed from remaining part of follicle. It secretes progesterone and estrogen. Under the effect of these hormones, glands of endometrium are activated and it becomes ready for implantation. Question 4. Answer the following questions in short. Sub-question 1. Explain with examples types of asexual reproduction in unicellular organism. Answer. Point 1. Process of formation of new organism by an organism of same species without involvement of gametes is called as asexual reproduction. Point 2. Types of asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms. Section A. Binary fission. Point 1. In this process, the parent cell divides to form two similar daughter cells. Point 2. Binary fission occurs either by mitosis or amitosis. For example, prokaryotes, bacteria, protists, amoeba. Diagram is given directly. Section B. Multiple fission. Point 1. Asexual reproduction by multiple fission is performed by amoeba. Point 2. Amoeba stops the formation of pseudopodia whenever there is lack of food. Point 3. It becomes rounded and forms protective covering around plasma membrane. Such encysted amoeba is called as cyst. Point 4. Many nuclei are formed by repeated nuclear division in the cyst. Point 5. It is followed by cytoplasmic division and thus many amoebulae are formed. Point 6. They remain encysted till there are adverse conditions. Cyst breaks open on arrival of favorable conditions and many amoebulae are released. Diagram is given directly. Section C. Budding. Point 1. Sexual reproduction occurs by budding in yeast cells. Point 2. Yeast cells produces two daughter nuclei by mitotic division. Point 3. A small bulge appears on the surface of parent cell. This is called as bud. Point 4. One of the two daughter nuclei enters this bud. Point 5. After sufficient growth, but separates from the parent cell and starts to live independently as a daughter yeast cell. Sub-question 2. Explain the concept of IVF. Answer. Point 1. In the IVF technique, fertilization is brought about in the test tube and the embryo formed is implanted in uterus of a woman at appropriate time. Point 2. IVF technique is used for having the child in case of those childless couples who have problems like less sperm count, obstacles in oviduct, etc. Sub-question 3. Which precautions will you follow to maintain the reproductive health? Answer. Point 1. A person's state of being physical, mental and social strength is called as health. Point 2. Bleeding occurs during menstrual cycle. Due to this, private organs need to be cleaned from time to time, otherwise problem regarding reproduction health may arise. Point 3. It is essential to maintain the cleanliness of genitals of both males and females. Point 4. Also, one should avoid unsafe sexual contact. Sub-question 4. What is menstrual cycle? Describe it in brief. Answer. Point 1. Female reproductive system undergoes some changes at puberty and those changes repeat at the interval of every 28 to 30 days. These repetitive changes are called as menstrual cycle. Point 2. Menstrual cycle in a natural process controlled by 4 hormones. Follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, luteinizing hormone, LH, estrogen and progesterone. Point 3. One of the several follicles in the ovary starts to develop along with the oocyte present in it under the effect of follicle stimulating hormone. This developing follicle secretes estrogen. Point 4. Endometrium of the uterus starts to develop or regenerate under the effect of estrogen. Point 5. Meanwhile, developing follicle completes its development. Point 6. It bursts under the effect of luteinizing hormone and oocyte is released. This is called as ovulation. Point 7. Remaining tissues of the burst follicle forms the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum starts to secrete progesterone. Point 8. Endometrial glands secrete their secretion under the effect of progesterone. Such endometrium is ready for implantation of embryo. Point 9. If oocyte is not fertilized within 24 hours, corpus luteum becomes inactive and transforms into corpus albicans. Point 10. Endometrium starts to degenerate in absence of estrogen and progesterone. Point 11. Tissues of degenerating endometrium and unfertilized ovum are discarded out through vagina, accompanied by bleeding. Point 12. Bleeding continues approximately for 5 days. This is called menstruation. Question 5. In case of sexual reproduction, newborn shows similarities about characters. Explain this statement with suitable examples. Answer. Point 1. Two parents, in other words, male and female, are involved in sexual type of reproduction. Point 2. In sexual reproduction, fusion of male gamete and female gamete occurs. Point 3. Due to this, new individuals always has the recombined genes of both the parents. Point 4. Hence, the new individual shows similarities with the parents for some characters and also has characters different from both parents. Question 6. Sketch the labeled diagrams. Sub-question 1. Human male reproductive system. Answer is on the next slide. Diagram is given directly. Sub-question 2. Human female reproductive system. Answer is on the next slide. Diagram is given directly. Sub-question 3. Flower with its sexual reproductive organs. Answer is on the next slide. Diagram is given directly. Sub-question 4. Menstrual cycle. Answer is on the next slide. Diagram is given directly. Question 7. Give the names. Sub-question 1. Hormones related with male reproductive system. Answer. FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. LH, luteinizing hormone, testosterone. Sub-question 2. Hormones secreted by ovary of female reproductive system. Answer. Estrogen and progesterone. Sub-question 3. Types of twins. Answer. Monozygotic twins and dizygotic twins. Sub-question 4. Any two sexual diseases. Answer. Syphilis and gonorrhea. Sub-question 5. Methods of family planning. Answer. Intrauterine device, use of condoms. Question 8. Gender of child is determined by the male partner of couple. Explain with reasons whether this statement is true or false. Sub-question 1. Hormones related with male reproductive system. Answer. Point 1. During zygote formation, man contributes either X or Y chromosome to the next generation. Point 2. But female transfers only X chromosome to the next generation. Point 3. At the time of fertilization, if X chromosome comes from male, the child will be a girl. And if Y chromosome comes from the male, then the child will be a boy. Point 4. Thus, gender of child is determined by the male partner of the couple. Point 5. So, the above statement is true. Diagram is given directly. Question 9. Explain asexual reproduction in plants. Answer. Point 1. Reproduction in plants with the help of vegetative parts like root, stem, leaf and bud is called as vegetative reproduction. Point 2. Vegetative propagation in potatoes is performed with the help of eyes present on tuber, whereas in bryophyllum, it is performed with the help of buds present on leaf margin. Point 3. In case of plants like sugarcane and grasses, vegetative propagation occurs with the help of buds present on nodes. Point 4. Plants like carrot and radish perform vegetative propagation with the help of roots. Point 5. Plants like Spirogyra reproduces asexually by fragmentation. Point 6. When there is plenty of water and nutrients available to Spirogyra, its filaments grow up very fast and break up into many small fragments. Each fragment starts to live independently as a new Spirogyra fiber. Question 10. Modern techniques like surrogate mother, sperm bank and IVF technique will help the human beings. Justify this statement. Answer. Point 1. Modern techniques like surrogacy, IVF and sperm bank have been boon to the childless couples. Point 2. In IVF technique, fertilization is brought about in a test tube and the embryo thus formed is implanted in the uterus of the women. Point 3. Surrogacy is a boon to women who face issues with their uterus. In this technique, oocyte is collected from the mother and sperms are collected from father. Point 4. They are fertilized in the test tube and the embryo is implanted in the uterus of some other woman having normal uterus. This process is called surrogacy and the woman bearing the child is called as surrogate mother. Point 5. Sperm bank or semen bank has been a boon for males who face issues with sperm count or motility. Point 6. Sperm banks are similar to blood bank where semen from physically and medically fit individuals are collected and stored. Point 7. Thus modern techniques like IVF, surrogacy and sperm bank help human beings. Question 11. Explain sexual reproduction in plants. Answer is on the next slide. Diagram is given directly. Answer to be continued on the next slide. Point 1. A flower is the site of sexual reproduction in plants. Point 2. It consists of 4 floral whorls: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Point 3. Androecium and gynoecium are called as essential whorls. Point 4. Calyx and corolla are called as accessory whorls. Point 5. Androecium is male whorl and its members are called stamens, while gynoecium is female whorl and its members are called as carpels. Point 6. Ovary present at the basal end of carpel contains one or many ovules. A hollow style comes up from the ovary. Point 7. embryo sac is formed in each ovule by meiosis, and each embryo sac consists of a haploid egg cell and two haploid polar nuclei. Point 8. Pollen grains are transferred from anther to the stigma. This is called as pollination. Point 9. When pollination occurs, a long pollen tube carrying two male gametes is formed. Point 10. Pollen tube reaches the embryo sac via style. Point 11. Pollen tube bursts and two male gametes are released in embryo sac. One male gamete unites with egg cell to form continued zygote. This process is called fertilization. Point 12. The second male gamete unites with two polar nuclei and endosperm is formed. This is called double fertilization. Point 13. After fertilization, ovule develops into seed and ovary into fruit. Point 14. Seeds fall upon the ground when fruits break up and they germinate in the soil under favorable conditions. Point 15. Zygote develops at the cost of food stored in endosperm of seed, and thus a new plantlet is formed. This is called as seed germination.
Great video. Mom.
Yes.
I found the good channel for study.
Great. Like the video, share it to your school friends. Subscribe to it. But what's the channel's name?
Wings of Fire Academy.